Hi, this is Andy Backus from LongRangeHunting.com, and today I'm going to talk about putting together a Sitka Gear clothing system for Western hunting. I get lots of calls from folks looking for some advice, not quite sure where to start. So I'm going to talk about a 6-piece system that I think are kind of the core 6 pieces to start with when working on a system for Western hunting. Sitka has a ton of products to choose from, and you can use these 6 as kind of the starting point, and you can kind of work off of these. Some of the pieces that I suggest will have different versions that are a little bit thinner, a little bit thicker, a little bit cooler, a little bit warmer, maybe has a hood, doesn't have a hood, and so on. But these are kind of the main pieces that I really recommend that you start with. And I like to start with the everyday shirt and pants. These are the mountain pants. I think of these as sort of the thickness and weight of pants that are the best for the most different types of temperatures and conditions you might run to in a hunting season. So these are kind of their mid-thickness, mid-weight. You can go lighter weight with the Ascent pants for warmer season. You can go to the Timberline pants, which are like taking the mountain pants and adding Gore-Tex on the rear end and the knees. That's nice for sitting down in cold, wet stuff. But it can also be a little bit warmer, so if you're getting sweated up climbing the mountain, you might prefer not to have those Gore-Tex parts on the pants. So mountain pants are kind of my go-to all-around pants. This is a core mid-weight zip tee. The tees, the shirts are available in core lightweight, midweight, and heavyweight. For an everyday shirt, I usually look at either a midweight or a heavyweight. This is a zip tee, which I prefer. There's also hoodies, which have a hood built in, which are great too. Underneath my pants, I usually choose from 3 different thicknesses of long underwear that I own, and sometimes when it's really cold I might wear 2 pair at the same time, so I've got quite a bit of flexibility in how much warmth I can provide underneath these pants. And then under my everyday shirt, I'll usually wear either a synthetic or a merino wool t-shirt, and I can change that t-shirt throughout the hunt. But then still wear this everyday shirt every day of the hunt. So the pants and the shirt are something I wear every day. So that's the first 2 items. So from here, when you start to get a little bit chilly and you need some insulation, to me the real key to a Western hunting package is puffy layers. And by puffy layers, I mean basically like a down puffy jacket or a synthetic insulation puffy jacket. In Sitka's case, they use Primaloft, which is a very lightweight, very packable synthetic insulation. Synthetic does a better job if it gets wet of still giving you some insulation and warmth. Any of the down that Sitka uses is treated to handle some moisture, but if we're talking about soaking wet, sort of an emergency situation, the synthetic insulation does a better job of keeping you warm than the down does. On the positive side for down, it's a little bit more packable and even lighter weight than the synthetic. So puffy layers, puffy jacket. There's a whole bunch of different puffy jackets to choose from Sitka. Sort of the middle weight one that I usually recommend to people that kind of handles the most part of the season, most different parts of the season, is the Kelvin jacket. My Kelvin jacket happens to be a solid color. Most of you would probably use the camo Kelvin jacket, but it's just a good sort of medium weight puffy jacket. Gives you quite a bit of warmth, does a great job of blocking the wind. So if I stop after hiking and now I'm going to sit in glass and I'm a little sweaty and I'm kind of getting chilly, I'll pull my Kelvin jacket on and immediately get a whole bunch of warmth. While it was in my pack, it didn't take up much space. It's very lightweight. I don't feel like I'm wearing much at all, and yet I've got quite a bit of warmth. Now, I also wear a pair of puffy pants, and Sitka's new puffy pants are Kelvin Light pants, which is a slightly thinner version of the Kelvin insulation. I like the Kelvin Light a lot, and if I was starting from scratch, I'd be very happy to have the Kelvin Light pants. I've still got the older Kelvin pants version, which is the same concept, just a little bit thicker, a little bit warmer. I'd actually prefer the Kelvin Light because I don't usually need them to be quite this warm, and I prefer them to be a little bit lighter and a little bit more packable. But the puffy pants have full-length leg zips, so real easy to just slip on over my boots, over my pants, and real quickly get my body warm. Very lightweight, very packable, very warm. Not the coolest looking by themselves, but when you're out in the mountain, who cares? So sometimes I'll sit in glass just wearing my puffy layers over my pants and my shirt. Totally comfortable, can glass for hours, happy as a clam. So now that's 4 items so far: the pants, the shirt, the puffy jacket, the puffy pants, and then my last 2 items are my rain shell and my rain pants. When I hunt out west, there's always a chance of an unexpected rain shower, full-fledged monsoon, sleet, wet snow. You know, it could be sort of a dangerous situation, so I always plan on having rain gear, and therefore the rain gear ends up being my outermost layer. So for the, kind of the all-around, again, weight of rain gear that handles the most different types of weather and conditions, I usually recommend the Cloudburst. The Cloudburst is fairly lightweight and packable. They do make a dew point, which is even lighter weight and more packable. The features on the dew point are a little bit simpler, not quite as nice of pockets and zippers and things like that. They both work great. The Cloudburst is only a little less packable and a little bit heavier. So Cloudburst is kind of my all-around recommendation for rain gear. So now I can pull my Cloudburst jacket on over my Kelvin jacket, and I've got the equivalent of a heavy-duty parka with Gore-Tex on the outside, puffy insulation on the inside, extremely warm. It fits together great, so it moves really easily. I don't feel like that kid in the snowsuit. Great hood, everything I need from mid-season to late season. And then I've got my Cloudburst pants. And again, they've got full-length leg zips, so it's easy to just pull them on over everything else. Throughout the day, throughout a hunt, you know, I'll take layers on and off. You know, put this layer on, put that layer on, take it off, put it back on. So the fact that they fit together so nicely and they come on and off so quickly and easily is really important. So now I've got all 6 layers on. I'm set all the way into the very late season, depending on what I do for long underwear and for layers against my skin on top. But I've got more flexibility than if I brought, you know, a heavy-duty pair of bibs and a parka. You know, I can wear just the rain gear, I can wear just the puffy layers, I can wear them together. Some days I might not even bring the puffy pants because it's not quite that cold. I'll typically always bring my puffy jacket, even on an early season archery hunt. I'll always bring my rain gear, I'll always bring my everyday pants and shirt. So you can see with these 6 pieces, these are pieces you're going to use on almost every hunt. They're going to last you forever. You're going to be extremely happy with them. You're not going to be wishing you had something different. So a really good starting point with a 6-piece system. If I was going to add one more piece to this mix, it would probably be some sort of a thin, lightweight jacket layer that I could put on over my shirt when it gets just a little bit chilly, not quite to the point where you need the thick puffy layer. You know, something like a mountain jacket or a timberline jacket. Just gives me some more flexibility with different weather conditions. But these 6 pieces are kind of the starting point. Now let's back up to the puffy jacket layer. Sitka has many, many puffy layers to choose from, which is great. And you know, they basically have to do with being less warm or extremely warm. And again, this is kind of the middle. If we back out to kind of the thinnest, lightest puffy layer, we get into the Kelvin Light layer. This is a Kelvin Light vest. So a very thin puffy layer, extremely lightweight, extremely packable. This would probably fit in my jacket pocket. Just gives me a little bit of core warmth here. They also make a Kelvin Light hoodie, so it would be the same fairly thin puffy material in a jacket with a nice hood. So obviously that can really add some warmth when you're sitting and glassing in a really light, packable package. Sitka this year also brought out a new piece called the Kelvin Active Jacket. This is about the same thickness and weight as the Kelvin Light, so kind of an early to mid-season puffy jacket. The Active Jacket is a little bit different insulation that's designed to allow your sweat and your moisture to wick out better than typical puffy layers. The other bonus of this is that it has a quieter exterior. any of the Puffy layers, the exterior is just a thin layer of nylon, kind of like a sleeping bag or a typical down jacket. The active jacket has an unusually quiet nylon layer on the outside, which is great. Now, none of these nylon layers on these Puffy jackets are durable. You wouldn't want to go busting through thorns and brush with just the Puffy layer exposed. So, you'd put your rain jacket over the top, or take the Puffy layer off and stick it in your pack if you're going to do something like that. So, there's some slight negatives to the Puffy layers. The outside has a little bit of noise, it's not super durable, but the fact that it's so light and so warm makes it worth living with those negatives because the positives are so positive. Going up in warmth, the next step above this would be the Kelvin that I was talking about earlier. And then for extremely warm, for very cold temperatures, you can get into the Kelvin down hoodie. So this is very, very thick, puffy, kind of luxurious down, extremely warm, extremely lightweight. For the amount of warmth you get, this thing weighs nothing. It's got a full down hood, extremely warm. I can still pull my cloudburst jacket on over this, and now I've got just an extremely warm, very late season jacket system. Put the hoods on together. So for you guys that get cold easily, this thing is living. About as warm as you could ever get in an incredibly lightweight, packable package. So, a bunch of different Puffy layers on top to choose from. The Puffy pants, there's only the Kelvin light pants available, and those are perfect. Pick your rain gear, pick your everyday pants and shirt, and you're pretty good starting with your Western hunting Sitka system. As always, we're happy to take calls and emails and answer questions about Sitka Gear or any of the other gear we sell at the Long Range Hunting Store. Our number is 920-376-2010, and of course check out our website, longrangehunting.com. Thanks.